Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. We're working on the free tee again, giving a little update. So, as I mentioned in a bunch of the other videos, stuff's a little more slow going these days because we're kind of getting towards the point of doing body work. And we're just doing nitpicky work or going back over stuff that we did early on. And I mentioned a couple times in videos, I'm going back and redoing some stuff because I'm not happy with it. One of the things I've been kind of unhappy with since we first did it on the car was we did the rear bracing on the car. And remember, for anybody that's watching this from the beginning, this car was broken into multiple pieces and was floppy, and we had really nowhere to start. So we made that bracing real quick, heated and bent some box tubing that I had around, and it did its job. It braced the body up. It got us going in the right direction. But now that the car is getting a little more finished and is becoming a lot more refined, I really kind of hate that box tubing. It didn't fit against the back tub of the body nicely. It didn't fit around the top edge as nice as I would have liked. And it also created a problem for when we were going to do upholstery. I didn't know how we were going to kind of like roll all that in and create a seat pan. All of that just didn't seem like it was going to flow. It was going to be kind of working against myself. So I think we're going to readdress the seating position. We're going to get the seating position a little lower because I took some photos. For any of you guys that don't, you should follow me on Instagram at IronTrap. I posted a photo of me sitting in the car, and you can kind of see that I'm sitting a little high, and I'm also kind of slouching over to get in a position that would have been drivable. So I think I need to drop my seating position down. So what I'm doing is kind of just readdressing some of the bracing and the seat pan area inside of the car, and try and get everything so that it's a little more comfortable to sit in, looks a little better when you have a driver in it, and it also makes it a little nicer for doing upholstery work. We can just roll the fabric over top of that, and it'll roll and look good. So what we're doing is we're bending up some tubing. So we're not doing, even though I have a lot of fancy tools at my disposal, we are doing this the old school way because really, in this situation, it's actually the best. One of the problems we had when we were bending the tubing for the box tubing originally was to get all of the bending that's going on in these corners is quite a lot. It's really difficult to get. And even with a tubing bender, I found that the bends were too tight that I couldn't get everything to work in a tubing bender because we have some bends that are, like for instance back in this corner here, the tubing is bending down and also curving 90 degrees around the back. I don't care how nice your tubing bender is, you can't get a two-dimensional bend like that by doing that with just a normal tubing bender that you or I would have in our shop with a hydraulic or floor mount tubing bender. It's really not possible. So what I'm doing, it's the difficult way, but it's the way it's going to fit the nicest is I'm doing pie cuts in here, doing little relief cuts and slowly bending the tubing, taking the cuts back up and then bending it some more and working my way around. So we have one side here that I pretty much finished. You guys can probably see in the shot there. I have my straight piece across the back here. I used 1¼ inch OD tubing because that actually kind of clips or fits right into the bead along the top, and what that does is it allows the sheet metal just to roll right into it, so I can TIG along that sheet metal and it'll all blend together and look really nice. So I have the second pipe here that I've started on. We decided to kind of shoot the last little process of this. So this tubing here fits. I'll figure out what I'm doing here. There we go. So I have little reference marks here that I made to kind of get it lined up. But what that does is it all fits in here. So this has been the process. I relief cut, welded, until we got it all to fit pretty good. This all, when it's clamped in place, actually sits pretty nice in the bead here. Now what we need to do is put some relief cuts on the bottom, bring this area down. That'll get it lined up with here, with the back bar. Then we can start beveling everything, weld it together, and we'll have one top tube that fits really, really nicely. So we're going to show you a little bit of this process and what we're doing today. All right, so that was a short little glimpse into a very long process for making this outside hoop. Like I mentioned in the beginning, there was a lot of stuff going on in these corners. Took a lot of cutting and bending and figuring it all out. It's not the most glamorous way to do this job, I guess I could say, but one thing that we do like to show on this channel for sure is just how you guys can do stuff without having every tool ever. I opted for doing this method and it works actually quite well. It fits pretty good, it looks pretty decent. We're gonna be covering it with fabric eventually, so I didn't go super crazy getting everything perfectly flat, but I blended all the welds in except for these here. We can now pull this bar off as one piece. I can finish weld around it, blend it in, put it back in, and then we can work on starting to weld the sheet metal to the actual tubing, and that will kind of blend everything in, make it nice and strong. I can work on getting my supports made, the uprights, and I think I'm actually going to make a new crossbar for the bottom while we're at it. Of course, open up a can of worms. We're going to make another crossbar for the back, I think, and that will kind of make everything look a little nicer when it's done. So that's all I have for this one. Hope you guys enjoy these quick little updates on the tee. We are getting closer every single episode to being ready for bodywork and paint. I can't wait. We do videos on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Make sure you give the videos a share, a like, and we also love to hear your comments down below. Thanks guys, catch you later.